Hey there, y'all. Figured I'd come out with a quick video here for the afternoon. I wanted to go over a couple things. We had ticker GVH went public yesterday. It just really sucked, really, for the most part. It's just, there's no other way to put it. Just a epic failure of an IPO. I think today it actually hit a low of $1.61. I saw it down at its low, sitting there at 161, and I was like, "Holy crap!" It's just ridiculous. Thing got beaten to hell. But anyhow, played it on day one. Didn't really make much, and it was just crap. IPO in general. Uh, so that's just the way it goes sometimes. I had better expectations for it, and it did not perform. And then today we had IPO that some people probably didn't know about, ticker HG. And I watched it at open, and it was just low volume, wasn't really moving. I think it's still sitting at what it IPO'd for, $15. And the company is a good, it's a good company overall in general, but in this market, nobody's going to pay $15 for that thing. Uh, unless you're just holding for years on end, and you're sticking it away for that long-term investment, and you just don't care what it does. But that's not why I'm in the market. I'm, for the most part, I think holding anything long term is just a bunch of crap. Um, if I wanted, there are better ways I could spend my money, or better places I could put my money, rather. Um, you know, versus holding something for years on end and maybe getting 30, 40, 50% out of it. Screw that noise. When you can make 20, 30, 40% on a daily basis just day trading, why would you hold anything long term? Because that's just, I've been there and done it, and it's just like it in my experience, it really got me a whole lot of nowhere. So y'all do what you want, but as far as what I do not hold anything long term. Day trading, short swing trading, that's about it. That's where the money is. Um, you know, and in this market, it's even kind of difficult to do that at the moment. So we had HG that went public, and it's just doing nothing. And then we had a ticker SHIM, which I did mention in a prior video. With SHIM, I said I was going to stay the hell out of it. And the reason I said that was because, I think in the video I said that they were, going with a debut price of $8 to $10, which was actually incorrect. It was $10 to $12. So, that was just that much more reason for me to stay the hell away from it. It's like nobody, I just, some of these companies, they just think that they're they can get away with that kind of thing, and ultimately snatch that much more money from people, especially on day one. It's like, no, not in this market. You're not going to get away with that kind of a crime. Um, so, and I said that I was staying out of it because typically those types of stocks dump down to $6 or $7 right out of the gate. So this morning I was watching it, and because they did have the ticker up, but there was absolutely no level 2 data rolling into it whatsoever, and it just showed a fat zero for price. And then eventually they put up a number on the screen, and it was at $7. So just like I figured it was going to, it literally dumped basically 50% out of the gate. Before it actually started trading. That was like what people were willing to pay for it. And so I was 100% correct on that theory. And they actually, the corporate they put in a corporate action and basically kept it from trading because they saw that it was going to be an epic failure. And maybe they'll revise it and make it better. But these these underwriters, they better start getting their shit together and figuring out what works in the market right now and what doesn't. If they want to have a successful IPO, they better freaking understand that you can't drop one at all after a Wednesday. So Thursday, Fridays, just cross them off the list. Don't IPO on those days. That would be the smart thing to do. Now, I don't know who's running the show exactly. The underwriters have most of the say so. So, if you're an underwriter out there or somebody, you have some kind of connection, you better start getting the message through to them that they need to smarten up. Drop your damn IPO on a Monday or a Tuesday. Those are the best 2 days to do an IPO in this type of a market. Most people don't even trade, I don't even trade Fridays generally. I'll watch to see if there's going to be anything hot, but that's what, every, 1 out of 100. So, it's just not, it's not worthwhile putting out an IPO on a Friday. Anyway, I might just contact underwriters myself and be like, you guys are just, you're fucking it up. You're not getting it right, and you better start getting it right. Otherwise, you're gonna just have epic failure after epic failure, and that's the very definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, it's anyway, they just better get their shit together. I'm just not going to play any IPOs that, unless they're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday IPOs. It's like even Wednesday IPOs, it's like, I don't know. Drop it on a Monday or a Tuesday. Just figure it out already. But anyhow, we got, a few more IPOs coming up this next week. Of course, they're scheduled for, Friday, of course. And I don't even know if I'm going to pre-order anything. It's like, unless, I can say for sure that not all of them are going to debut on, a Friday. I hope that none of them do. Maybe they'll, finally get the picture or get the message or start paying attention, or somebody will eventually get it right. But part of the problem that we have is, the constant wars, the constant proxy wars that, unfortunately the U.S. government funds and Israel funds, and it's messing up a lot of crap, because there's a lot of people over in those other countries that trade, but they're not trading right now because there's a whole other mess of crap going on that they're focusing on instead. So that takes a lot of volume out of the market when you don't have a bunch of other people trading. And I think that people they have a misunderstanding of the markets. It's not like only people here in the US trade the US markets. Okay, that's maybe for some newbies that's what you might think, but we rely on a lot of that volume over there in other countries, and when they're not trading, guess what, there's no volume and the market's not as good. So until we get until we have some justice happen and people held responsible for their actions in the right places. And I'm not talking about Hamas and the Palestinians, because they've been injustice for a long time. And Hamas, they're a group that was literally created by Israel. Israel made them. They're the ones that put them in power, that funded them. Benjamin Netanyahu in 2019 said, we have big plans for Hamas and the Gaza Strip. And now we're seeing all that unfold. And, Israel is, they've put out numbers of 20,000 Palestinians murdered. And, you know, we have, Hamas, or the Palestinian Health Organization, or, they if you watch mainstream media, they're just going to basically say they're Hamas numbers, which isn't true, at all. And, they're estimating 10,000, right? Well, but then you have the US and Israel saying that they're blowing up their numbers when Israel is putting out bigger numbers as far as death count. So it's like we know who the liars are. We know, who the actual terrorists are, and it's not the Palestinians. So, if Israel's numbers are right, then they have killed 20,000 Palestinian civilians and only 65 Hamas operatives, members of Hamas. So that's a pretty big difference in number there. I mean, so you killed 20,000 innocent people to get to 65 bad guys that you created. Yeah, that sounds rich right there. That's just fucking great. Um, Literally murderers and liars. There's no other way to put that. The IDF is the equivalent to America's CIA. They are nothing more than propagandists and murderers, liars, thieves. Basically everything that's in the Bible that says that we're not supposed to be. Um, you know, so anyway, I guess I'll leave it there. Let that sink into your brains. Um, maybe y'all figure it out. I'm sick and tired of people propping up wicked government, and I let people know on the daily basis, and I won't stop. Try and make me. I dare you. It's so aggravating, man. So aggravating. Anyway, I got shit to do. I'm gonna get off here and go probably hit the river, do something outside for the afternoon. Not raining today, and looks like the sun could pop out here at any time. So y'all have the rest of a good afternoon.